7-6. We're going to 3-bet. Hey, Yu-Gi-Oh! Rex. Thanks for the follow, man. So this is going to have to be one of our zero equity bluffs here with 7-6 clubs. I'm so glad we got it through. King Queen suited. We are going to 3-bet. We're going to see bet Ace Jack and King Queen. We will see bet as well. We're going to check the turn here with King Queen and Ace Jack. We are going to double barrel. So King Queen here. This kind of small bet feels like a protection bet with like jacks or tens versus my ace queens. And I think he's going to be checking river if we call. I think we're going to take a check raise all in line here on the turn with our ace queen of clubs. I don't think this bet sizing is representative of king x. And if he's got ace king, then he's just going to stack us. Yeah, he's going to hate himself now if he does have jacks or tens. Right, cool. We are going to 4-bet ace king. And 6-5, we are going to c-bet. Nice flop here for ace king. We are going to c-bet. And 6-5 here. We do have a weak flush draw here. It's not like we want to get it in versus 10-9 of clubs. So we're not going to 3-bet the flop. We are going to just call. And ace king here, after being called on the flop, we are going to double barrel. So I see him having a lot of ace x of clubs here that plays this way. So for that reason, I think it's best to check call the river here. Give him a chance to bluff, which he didn't choose to do. So let's see what he had. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. This is the hand I put him on, like an ace x of clubs. We had to give him the chance to bluff here, but he didn't. 6-5. Guess the only hand we can try and represent here is Jack 10 of clubs. So we're going to try to do that and go for a cheap bluff on the river. Versus his ace eights. Alright, nice hand. Tens. We'll just mix in a call this time. And we're going to be check calling at least twice on this flop. When check to, I think we do want to start betting now. I think we check now and let him try to bluff with his ace x hands versus my 3x hands. So we're just going to check call. Wow, yeah, kings. So kind of lost the minimum there, chat. Checking back 7-8. So I'm glad he chose a small bet sizing here because anything bigger, even his 8x hands are likely to be stronger than us. So we are going to continue. And ace jack, we finally hit a flop here. We are going to c-bet. Right, let's hope he can just check back his small weak showdown hands that we can beat, like pair of sixes. Yeah, so that's why I think I like the really small bet sizing from him. So I think it just means he has more hands that we beat when he chooses that sizing. But if he does choose a slightly larger sizing, like maybe like towards half pot, he would also have hands like ace 8 or 8-9 or 10-8 that beat us. I find these guys to be very technically sound with their bet sizings in terms of what they terms of what hand strength they are representing. So it's just being sensitive to that, so that you can then range your opponents more accurately. We see a jam, which we're obviously snap calling. Good luck. Nice. First stack of the day, albeit he only had 50 big blinds, but we'll take it. 7-9 suited, facing a 6x, which is appropriate given we're a lot deeper. We are going to peel. And we see a flop for us that we can continue on. 6 of diamonds would be nice. He does decide to check. Meanwhile, we're just going to squeeze king queen. So I think we can bet big here on the turn, and then there's a lot of bluff outs we have. Alright, cool. So glad we didn't need it, but yeah, there's going to be a lot of river cards that we can shove on, like spades. Or I think it was like a 9 or a 5 for a completed straight. Facing a 3-bet with 9s versus this guy that does like to barrel off. We are going to continue. Obviously looks like a bad flop for us, but he does also have a lot of king queens, king jacks, queen 10 suited that he would 3-bet us with. So for that reason, we are going to continue, and ideally we don't want to see any face cards here. Seeing a 9 is also an option. So we've gone from we hope he does have king jack queen 10 to we do hope he has ace king now. I think against this player type, I prefer calling, and that's a beautiful run out here. He has the range. He has the range advantage in terms of having the stronger ace x hands than we do, given the action pre-flop. Yeah, so this is what I meant. Like he's going to have a lot of these type of hands, like king jack and suited queen 10s. Defended our button here with ace jack, and we're going to call the c-bet. And he goes for an overbet now, which is a good bet. He can do this with his ace kings, his ace queens. You can also do this with like 10-9 of spades. So there's a good balance between nutted hands and bluffs here that he has. So we are going to call in position. And when he checks, we're going to snap check back. Alright, so he had 10-9, but 10-9 of diamonds, so no flush draws. But yeah, I like the overbet bluff by him. And pocket sevens here. I want to try and go for a check raise. So we've seen overbet by this guy. We're really deep here, so there's a lot of bad turn cards for us that we may have to check fold on. So it could be quite a tough spot to play, but I think this is still nonetheless the best line to take, I think. If he jams, then I think repeat. Jack 10 now completes. So we're going to be checking at quite a high frequency here, and we're just going to have to. Well, fortunately, he didn't make the hand, but so I mean, like it can be quite a tough spot to play, even though we're pretty confident we're ahead. So we caught the value end of his range instead of his semi-bluffing range. So he had king 4, ace queen. We're gonna 3-bet. Ace queen on the right. We're gonna c-bet as well. King queen. We will double barrel, and we're gonna check back the river. This is a bad turn card for us, slash good turn card for him. Although I think he does have some king queen king jack floats, which if we check the turn, we're going to expect these hands to bluff river. So we're going to have to be going to bluff catch mode on the river here. He does have some pocket pairs as value and also some king jacks. But for this sizing, I guess he's trying to tell me he's got pocket eights. So nice hand. First ace king on the right, we are going to 3-bet. I think I want to try and go for a 2-street game here. If we can check raise the flop and then jam safe turns. Okay, so he decides to check back. So we are definitely going to lead the turn here. You can have some ace-x hands that were pot controlling as well as flush draws. And we can also have flush draws slash ace-x hands in the spot ourselves. So the river, I don't think he has much jack X here, so I think the river card is kind of irrelevant. He either has a busted flush draw or he's got some kind of like ace queen type hand. And I don't expect his ace X hands to bet. So we're going to have to do the betting ourselves here. I don't expect him to ever jam here. Wow, he does have a jack X, which didn't decide to raise. It's kind of odd. Interesting flop for Queen Jack here with the Queen of Diamonds. Facing a small C bet. I think it's just a clear call for us. We turn a straight. He's going to want to bet twice here if he does have like a set or something, or like a 2-pair plus hand, as we do have a lot of flush draws that he does want to deny equity against. I don't think we raise here. I think we just call twice with Queen Jack. We're just going to snap call this river bet. Alright, very good. 6-9. This is one of our 0 equity bluffs. Right, so we're going to apply some pressure here. I think this is a great board for us to do it on. So we're going to overbet here. And see a snap fold. You love to see it. This board should hit our range a lot harder than it does for the pre-flop aggressor here. He does decide to check, and we are going to check turn. I don't see how he has the flush here, given the way he's played this hand, and we can so easily have flushes ourselves. I expect him to continue here with ace X with the heart, or like a set of aces here, which now boats up. So it might be a bit harder for us to bluff here. I think we'd have to go for an overbet and then fold to a shove. We're going to have to represent this flush here. But he makes a good call. Just didn't give us credit for a flush there. We had some bluffs that didn't quite work out towards the end, so I think we're booking just a very small losing session today. But yeah, thanks for joining, guys. See you in the next one.